Hello, today is going to be days 1, 13, 14, and 15 of my daily journal. So Saturday, was working. I was opening driver like I normally am. The farmers market was also going on that day, and since they started scheduling us morning drivers at 10, I now have time to go to the market, and I get to go and see, what's there, and if there's anything that I like. So I got up, got ready, made sure I had all my stuff for work, and then I headed over to the coffee shop, and got a coffee, hung around for a little bit, just waiting for the farmers market to start, because it starts at 9, and I got there like a little after 8, so I was waiting for a little bit, but I went to the market, and I did buy a couple of things. The people that I got the petrified wood and the like brown rock with the green crystals, they were there again this week, or last week technically, and they were there, and they had some nice pieces, and I ended up buying more pieces. Okay, so this is one of the pieces I bought. Cool little green rock. You can't really see it from this perspective, but like actually looking at it in person, the way that it is formed looks really cool, and like it's a very interesting piece, and it's also like just like solid green. That one's pretty nice. Yeah, that one's just pretty cool. I also got this one. Some nice blue, and obviously just the rock as well. It looks like the on the beach where the water like ends and it goes into the sand, and it's all like really light blue and like white and foamy. I was also going for maybe a little bit more color, not just strictly like green and brown. Well, I was looking for a piece with color, which they did have some. There was like an orange, there was some pinks, there was purples, there was things like that. But that was another one that I got. And then this last piece that I got is a piece of amber. Real nice, cool brown. It's darker up top, lighter on the bottom. It just looks really cool. I enjoy this piece as well. I bought 3 pieces, and these pieces were cheaper together than the other 2. In total, the other 2 I think were like $125, because I think it was 75 and 50. And then for those 3, it was only like 54, just because they were cheaper. Each piece was cheaper than the other 2, obviously. But yeah, I bought those pieces. I now have them on my desk along with the other 2 pieces. They're gonna be there next week, after this Saturday. They show up every other week to the farmers market. Coincidentally, whenever they show up is the week that I get paid, so I might be spending a lot of money on those. But I mean, yeah. I bought those, and then I was gonna go get some cookies from the lady that I normally get them from, the one that has the sourdough s'mores cookies, but I didn't see her there, so instead I ended up going to a different lady. She made she made loaves, like bread loaves, and on top there was like the ones that I got were a Biscoff peanut butter loaf and a key lime loaf. She also had a Reese's peanut butter loaf, and I forget what the other one was. Um, I really can't remember for the life of me. But I ended up getting the Biscoff peanut butter one and the key lime one. I've never had a Biscoff cookie. It was alright. Cause there was one Biscoff cookie just like in the middle on top of all the frosting and everything. Um, so I did have that. It was alright. The loaf, the actual like bread with the frosting and everything, was really good. It was a peanut butter. It was like a peanut butter frosting, and the loaf was real nice and soft. And then the key lime one was key lime frosting, bits of like crumbs on top of it, and the same loaf. Um, those were good. Those were pretty good. Um, but I had those. I had the Biscoff one for lunch along with my sandwiches that I took to work, and then I had the key lime one for dinner. But yeah, that was my morning. I bought those pieces. I bought the loaves, and then I dropped the pieces off at home before I went to work because I didn't want to keep them with me for the whole day in my truck. So I just dropped them off and then went to work. Just barely made it before 10. Um, but yeah, went to work, clocked in, and then, went about my normal thing. Dishes, prepping whatever they told me to prep, deliveries, cutting and boxing pizzas, all of the normal stuff. And I mean, overall, the day in of itself was a decent day. It was a pretty good day. Um, I stayed till 4 because that's when I was scheduled to end my shift, and then I just came home, had some food, and then just went to sleep. Um, I've actually been going to sleep a lot earlier now than I normally do, um, which is in part why videos are coming out like days after that they're supposed to, and I end up falling asleep and not doing them until like either the day after or whenever I find the time to do them. So yeah, that's kind of why the schedule has been a little weird. But that was Saturday. Sunday, coffee shop is closed. Can't go there, so I was just sitting here. I was already ready and everything, and I was just enjoying. My order. Oh, I had all my stuff ready, and then I went to work, and I've apparently after I left Saturday, it just got like super super busy, and like basically all hell broke loose. And then when I came to the store in the morning, like it was just it looked like it was well, the store looked alright, but there were things like dishes that there was like no dishes. There were a few. Most of the dishes needed to be washed. We had like literally no pizza cheese ready to be used. Like the racks of pizza cheese were empty. I had to do 13 bags of pizza cheese. It's not difficult. It really isn't difficult. You just the pizza cheese comes in a box. You just rip off the bottom, you flip it over, and then pizza cheese comes out, and then you just tie it, put a sticker on it, and then go and put it in the walk-in on cheese racks. But I had to do 14 or I had to do 13. If holds 14, we only had 13, so I did all of the cheese that we had in the store. And then just normal stuff, buckets of pizza sauce, all of the sauces that go on, pizza, they go on, um, the wings and everything else. The cinnamon that goes on top of the cinnamon twists, all of that stuff. Um, Cheeses, did those. Did some tater tots. I think I did some tater tots. But the list looked bad on first glance just because of like the 14 things of pizza cheese. But that was really the only big issue. And then like 5 of the items, or like 4 or 5 of the items were just like different sauces, and it was only like a bag of that sauce. So like five of the items were I could literally do in like maybe less than 5 minutes, in all honesty. So like it wasn't as bad as it looked upon first glance. It was really just the all of the pizza cheese that made it look so bad when you first look at it. But yeah, did all my prep. I was the only driver until 4 p.m. The only one. And there weren't actually many deliveries throughout the day until like 4, when it started getting closer to the dinner time. People started ordering, but throughout the day there really wasn't many orders. I was the only driver. I was opening with another person, and then another insider came in. The girl that I started, or that before I left for my vacation, I actually had a conversation with, because she didn't really talk much. But she came in midday, and for like 4 hours or so, it was just, actually maybe a little less than 4 hours, because another manager came in, because he was taking over for the manager that I opened with. He came in, I think, a little bit before the next driver came in. So for a couple of hours it was just the 3 of us, and we're just, I wasn't really getting any deliveries, so I was just chilling in the store. They were making carry-out orders. I was cutting out the pizzas, just normal stuff. And then 4 came. Then the next driver came. 4:30. The next driver came. I was supposed to be off at 4:30. I ended up staying until 7, solely because I wanted to get more hours and some more tips. I could have left at 4:30. I just decided to stay until 7. And then once 7 hit, I was like, can one of you guys clock me out? And that was, I was just there to get some more hours in, because I need the money. But yeah, and I just came home, had some food, watched some videos, caught up on whatever phone games that I needed to catch up on, and then went to sleep, which is why I didn't make the video yesterday, because I just ended up completely going to sleep. And then today, Monday, day off. I have today and tomorrow off. Wednesday I work, Thursday I'm off, and then I work from Friday to Sunday. But today, I did my normal thing. I dropped off my brother and the neighbor's daughter at school. I went to the coffee shop, had a coffee, hung out there for a little bit, and then on my way home, I took whatever money was on, whatever money I got in tips and mileage, I put that into my personal bank account. Then I just came home, I practiced some guitar. I've been I've been trying. I've been learning the guitar part for "The Adults Are Talking" by The Strokes. Um, I've I just today um, have now gotten it to the point where I know all of the parts in the order that they go in. Now it's uh, getting it up to speed, and the picking and all of the other stuff. Um, but I do know the order of the parts and everything like that. Like I said, it's just now it's taking it slow and then getting it up to actual speed, and then getting used to the picking. Um, the picking is the picking is always the hardest part. It's the same thing with the violin. The left hand is like the hand where you're pressing on the string, and then the right hand is where you have the bow. At some point, the left hand you just don't really need to focus on because you just know where everything is. And then the right hand you start focusing on more, just because there's so many factors that go into the bow, like making sure that you have enough bow for certain phrases. Like if you want one note to be really drawn out, the speed at which you move the bow, also the amount of weight that you're putting onto the bow, so that you can make a nice clean sound, and just the angle of which you're holding the bow at. And then if you're doing fast passages, making sure that you're putting just enough force, but not so much force to where it kind of just like grips the string and you can't keep up with the speed. The bow was always the hardest part, and then also like making sure it's loud or soft enough depending on what the music says, and reaching that amount of volume as well. The bow was like extremely complex. The bow the bow is, I would say, the more complex part of playing the instrument, because like I said, at some point you know where all of the notes are on the not fretboard. You know where all the notes are on the violin, and then your left hand just does its thing. It moves to where it needs to, and so you start focusing on the bow to make sure that you're making the nice clean sound. Kind of the same thing here. I'm kind of now used to where my fingers need to go. Still need a little bit more refining on that, but the picking is the part that's really difficult, and that's probably gonna take me the longest. The fingers, I'm not too worried about that. That will come naturally with practice, a lot sooner than the picking is. But yeah, I've been practicing that. I don't know how long it's gonna take me to get it up to speed and to a point where I'm happy with it, but at least I have made some progress, and I now know the entirety of the guitar part. I just need to, practice it more to get it nice and polished. But yeah, that was it for today. Had some food, picked up my brother from school. Other than that, nothing else. Yeah. Tomorrow, I'm gonna go hang out in the coffee shop in the morning. Come home, probably do some laundry for work and for also the rest of the week. And I mean, yeah, that's really it. Wednesday I'm gonna work. Thursday I'm off. I don't know what I'm gonna do Thursday, and then Friday to Sunday, working. But yeah, that is everything. So, thank you for watching. Anybody that watches, thank you for commenting. Anybody that comments, I do read them. I do appreciate them, and I do hope that everybody did have a good past couple of days. And if you didn't, I hope the next couple of days are better for you. And until my video, I want to say Wednesday, but I don't really know. I'm kind of losing consistency with this, but I will try Wednesday. But yeah, till my video, hopefully Wednesday. That's it. So till then, see ya.